Hey, we are back live from, well, me, Phoenix, Arizona, Melina
From the
Mike.
garage. Yeah,
Yeah.
Joey's live from the garage.
Hey, don't reveal my secrets, okay? Melina Mike at the Super Billiards Expo just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Guys, let us know if you can hear us and see us okay. Got a great interview here lined up with young American, real superstar. Kind of last 2 years has really blossomed into a really top competitor, Shane Wolford. How's it going, Shane?
Good. How are you?
Uh, we're good, man. We're good. How you feeling out there? How's the conditions? How's the tournament? What do you think?
I'm feeling real good. The tables are playing really well. I really enjoy the brand new diamonds. Playing good, um, rolling straight. Everything's good.
How does it make you feel? What Joey just said? Because if you have someone who watches a lot of pool,
hmm
give me the next American that's coming. Your name is
The next
at
American.
that. No, I'm saying like if we asked a bunch of people who's the next American coming, your name's at the top of that list.
Oh,
What does it make you feel hearing stuff like that?
um, gives me a lot of inspiration. Makes me want to keep working hard and putting in the practice, and just keep competing with all those guys. And here soon, hopefully, be snapping all of them off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Shane. I know we've talked before. I think on our Booth Brothers show one time. But the first time I ever saw you was in that Scotch doubles tournament at Maryland, and you and Nathan Childress were a team, and you guys won that tournament. My brother and I finished third in that tournament, and I remember asking about you, like, who's that guy? Because I was originally from Maryland, but I had been out west for so long, and they're like, "Oh, that's Shane Wolford. He's going to be a great one." And so is Nathan, they were saying. And I'm like, really? And so then I just watched you and I've been paying attention along the way. And I mean, you went from really good, like junior player to like regional talent to now you're in matchroom events. You're all over the place, man. Does it feel like, do you have to pinch yourself sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I've been very fortunate. My family's big support system. My sponsors, they make everything possible. So very thankful for all of them. Help me do what I love to do.
Everywhere
Yeah.
I look, when I see you traveling around, I see Dad there with you. How
Yeah,
cool is it to be able to live out your dream, but then have your man right there, right beside you?
yeah. It's really cool. I enjoy it. The support that I get from my family, mom, dad, my little sister Savannah. It's uh, it's awesome to have them around when I'm playing.
Where
They
do you
play
see
pool
like?
too,
Oh, go ahead, Joey.
Shane? Sorry, they
Yeah,
play pool too?
yeah. They play. They play in the leagues and stuff back home, and mom and Savannah are going to be playing in the women's event here at the Expo. Hopefully,
Nice.
hopefully they'll do good. Wishing them luck.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you see your game right now, Shane? Like in the grand scheme of things, you see yourself as potential for, let's say, Moscone Cup. Do you see yourself, maybe coming for that at some point, or is it now? I mean, tell me where you're at.
Um, yeah, I'm really trying to work hard to get to that point, and right now I'm like second in the points behind Shane. He just got a little booster of
Yeah,
60,000
a
points,
little
so
bit. Yeah, a little bit. He might have won something.
yeah, it'd be tough to catch him. But right now, as it stands, I'm second in the points, so I just got to keep playing in the events and doing well, and hopefully I get on this year. It'd be great.
I've talked to Jeremy quite a bit, and Joey's been on whenever we have, and we always ask him about Moscone Cup contenders and who he's thinking about, and your name always comes to mind. What has that meant for you growing up and playing in junior events, and what has the Moscone Cup been to you, in your career?
It's a goal. It's one of the biggest goals that you have as a pool player that lives in Europe or America. Um, it'd just be a dream come true to make the team and go out there and perform well as well. You know, just get out there, handle the pressure well, and beat the Europeans.
Were you in the Atlantic Cup, the junior version of the Moscone Cup?
Yeah, I was. I was in that 3 times. We sucked.
Got smoked. Smoked. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You guys aren't
Way to
juniors no
go,
more, so
Mike.
I can say that now. I can say it now. There ain't kids no more.
Way to
Yeah.
bring up bad memories. Great job.
Yeah. Thanks.
So Shane, obviously, we mentioned Shane Van Boning and his big win. What's it like being able to kind of interact with him at tournaments and see that level of professionalism, really, one of the very top players in the world, and to kind of be around that quite a bit at these events.
Yeah, I think it's a good experience for me. I kind of I'm getting to see, what it's like to be, that guy. So I look up to him, and he's that guy for America. And hopefully one day I can say that I'm that guy.
Yeah,
That's the end goal.
I mean, it kind of sucks that his name's Shane, right?
No, that's okay. We can
I'm
we
just
can
Get
share.
kidding.
confused quite a bit.
Yeah,
Oh man, if I
yeah.
was,
It's
yeah, if I'm an up and coming player, if the best player in the United States was named Joey, I'd be really upset about that.
You
yeah,
ain't got to
that's
worry about it.
okay.
You ain't got to worry
Now I
about
just
it,
got to
Joe.
keep working hard, and hopefully I can be the best Shane.
Oh man.
Where do you see your game at right now? Because I know I watch a lot of tournaments and I follow a lot of brackets, and I see take down some names where maybe on paper you might be an underdog, but it
Mhm.
seems like you've been delivering over the last 6 months.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm right there. I've got a few things to work on that I really want to, critique that I think will make my game boost even more. But really, it's about the exposure. Keep going out and playing in the tournaments. When you play better players, you're going to get better.
Right.
And
What's your work ethic
super.
like, Shane? Like
Um,
off the table, when you're at home, when you're at your
yeah,
local pool room.
I'm hitting balls every single day, 6-8 hours a day. Um,
How old are you?
22.
Oh man, just a baby. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, trying to just work on the little things, because that's what it is now. The difference between the elite players and the good players is just such little things that you just have to perfect and got to get good at them.
I really like what you said. It shows a level of maturity that you've identified a couple things that you want to work on. Even though you're playing 8 hours a day and you're having a lot of success and you're kind of on the upswing and you're knocking off good players, what are those couple things that you're trying to work on?
Oh well, you always want to work on the break. That's the most important shot in pool. Um, Little safety things, kicking, like to be able to keep kicking with control, and
Purpose.
yeah, yeah, have somewhere to be. Don't just be kicking to hit the ball. You have to know the speed to hit the ball, which side of the ball to hit that will result in the best shot.
Those
It's
little
really
details that, an amateur player is going to overlook.
Right.
Yeah.
it really is those little things though collectively that make the difference between a good player and a elite player, because all of you guys at this level can go and run out. You have an open 10 ball layout, you're going to go and get there. You have an open 9 ball layout, you're going to go and get there. It's those little nuances that really make the difference between here and up there.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure.
I remember when I was starting to come up and play, I kind of had this thing. I don't know if it was good or not, and I want to see if you relate to this because you've been on such an upswing
For sure.
that I almost felt like mentally I had to lie to myself when I was matching up with people, when I was playing in tournaments, like, hey, I'm just as good as this guy, even if I knew I wasn't. So back when I was coming up, kind of in your part of the world, there was like the Ryan McCreeshes and the Brandon Schuffs and the Matt Clatterbucks. And I
Yep.
would tell myself when I played them, I'm just as good as them. Well, that was a lie. I mean, I needed the 7. But if I told myself that, I felt like I had a better chance to beat them.
Right.
Describe your mental approach as you're now getting out to Europe and you're playing against these really tough players, the world champion caliber players. What are you telling yourself leading up to these matches?
Well, all of us have broken run before, so if you're consistent and you can break a run, you better win the leg. Win the leg, and then you go from there. But no, you always want to have confidence. You never need to go into a match thinking, oh, I'm the underdog, because eventually I don't want to have any match where I'm the underdog. I want to go out and I want to everybody, be kind of like, ooh, they they might get a little timid, but that's really the big goal for me. I want to be the best eventually, so I got to keep working and just do it.
Do you think it's to your advantage maybe if maybe because you may not have the resume like some of these guys, or maybe you may think of it as like they're taking maybe you for granted in your game?
Uh, Yeah, it's happened before, I'm sure. But really, I don't even look into much of that. Just go out and perform the best that I can perform. Try to make no mistakes, and even if I lose a set and play a perfect set, then I can't really be mad. The other person just beat me that day, and we'll move to the next day.
Well, let's talk about that because you've been known to play in two-man tournaments. You played in a little two-man tournament last night.
Yeah.
What part has that done, or what is that? How has that helped you mentally become tougher at such a young age?
Well, the gambling aspect of things, you got to get out there and do it. And once you do it and you understand it, then you kind of it's a different feeling in tournaments. Like you get an adrenaline rush, and
But you can process it different then. Like it's
Yeah.
easier for you because it's you're putting yourself in those pressure-packed moments already.
right, yeah. So a lot of pressure, and I think that's good because then when you go and you play in these matchroom events, you're gonna perform better because you're not gonna be over here shaking like I don't know
Yeah,
what.
for sure.
Yeah.
So in terms of this event, we had Nick DeLeon on earlier, and he was talking about how he felt like the tables are playing a little slow. Maybe some of the humidity. You
Right.
recently spent time out in Vegas. You went over to England. You're now there. There was some rain earlier in the week. Talk to us about adjusting to different conditions. Do you? Because I have a hard time perceiving that when I play. I just play and whatever happens, happens. And then later somebody will say, oh, yeah, it was very humid and the tables played different. Are you pretty perceptive to those things or you just get out and do what you do?
I mean, you definitely want to take account and notice how they're reacting, off the rails and stuff, depending on humidity and everything. But you really just got to go out there and do your thing, not worry too much about it. Of course, you want to be adapted to the conditions, but don't keep that in your head, really. Just make the adjustment and do your thing.
You think it's getting easier for you though, like all the traveling?
Yeah, of course. Like if you're back playing your home pool room, you're going to get used to that. But when you make a lot of changes and you're playing a lot of different places, that really helps you just broaden out and you can switch easier, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that a strong suit of yours, you think?
Uh, on any diamond table, yeah.
I like it.
We won't talk about the Predator
Yeah.
table.
Well, let's talk about the Super Billiards Expo because you got a match coming up with Jonathan Hennessy. I know you beat him recently at I think it was Music City.
Yep.
Bar table event. What history, if any, you got with him? I know I was talking with Nick and he was a little bit on tilt about, some
did-
moves.
Did
Really?
Hennessy got him? He
Hennessy
gave
got
him
him,
some
yeah.
moves?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a little bit of moving and shaking. He said,
I didn't know he was capable of that.
"No, it's news to me too."
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I try not to let things that other players do affect me. I think I'm really good about that. Keeping my cool. Nothing really tilts me. Um, I don't really fall for any of the little goofy stuff. And if I notice they're doing it, then I call them out on it. So I make them feel funny.
There you go. Make them uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't. I mean, it's not that it bothers me, but you see them trying to do something like that, and I've never been a fan of that. I don't think that's how this game is supposed to be played. If you can't beat me, then don't try to do some silly shit.
I like it. Yeah, man. And not only that, but you got to put your foot down, man, because if not, people are just going to continue to disrespect you and continue to try to walk all over you
Exactly.
and try to go and just see what they can get away with. And, where's that limit going to go and be? But if you put your foot down, and there's a way to do it where you can still be tactful and classy about it and,
Right.
But still kind of be firm, and we ain't going to play like that around here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's unfortunate, but some of those guys, you got to go and call them on their BS. That's just the way it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's that other part of it too, Mike, and I'm curious to hear this from Shane because when I do confront somebody at the table on a situation like that, your blood pressure goes up, your physiology changes.
Ain't nobody worried about Joey saying nothing to him. That's why.
Your physiology changes. It's like I told that story from out in Vegas where the referee came and put me on tilt because of something silly. He lectured me right in the beginning of the match. And so, Shane, how do you manage like that in terms of you have to confront somebody, they're pulling some moves, they're sharking you or whatever. You don't
Right.
feel like your blood gets boiling a little bit? Do you have
Yeah,
any
sometimes
strategies?
it can, but like I think sometimes that's better for me too. If it piss me off,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play
See, I like
good.
hearing that,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah. I think you just have to have thick skin. You can't get upset with it. You have to tell them. You got to be like, look, this is wrong, and then you got to be like, okay,
Like
that's the
Joey,
end of that, and
take notes.
now I'm just gonna beat his head off.
You see,
So we
Red?
talked. Okay, fine, Mike. I got it.
I'm
So
kidding.
we talked about Shane Van Boning and kind of looking up to him and what he's done for the professional sport in the United States. But are there other players that you would kind of look to and maybe model your game or model how you deal with things off the table?
Um, yeah, like I like to pick. So ever since I've been a kid, the way that I learned is people coming up showing me little things, and so there's some stuff that I still use today that I learned when I was 6 years old. I listened to everything, and then I actually use what I liked. What they taught me. Um, so I don't know if there's just one person that I like to model my game off of. I think it's a collection of a ton of people, even if they're an APA 3 back home. I could have learned something when I was 6 years old that I still use today, and that's what's pretty cool about this game. You can learn from, even if it's not particularly a good player, you still might be able to pick up from some information that will help you.
That's really insightful. In fact, I remember hearing a story. I don't know if it's true or not, but someone was asking Efren how he was so creative with some of the shots that he would hit. And he would say that he would watch, average players and watch the way the cue ball reacted when they did things. Because if you constantly watch professionals, you're going to see the same patterns over and over again, the
Right,
same
you're gonna
types of
see all the
shots.
correct stuff.
Yeah, but he would watch like some ball banger go in and smack a ball and see it go 15 rails and knock something in and say, "Oh, I'm going to put that in my arsenal." So
Right.
that's kind of neat.
Yep.
What are your goals for Super Billiards Expo, Shane? What are your expectations out here whenever you come?
Um, I want to play to my potential. I think if I do that, I've got a chance to snap the thing off. I don't feel like it's going to be super out of line with any of the players. Of course, I'm going to be the underdog against some players, but
I
I
don't
can
think
have
that
a.
list is very long though.
I
I
hope
mean,
not.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm serious though.
Yeah,
You
thank you.
know,
They
Well,
I just got to get out there and do my thing, play my game, keep my confidence up, and not worry about you know mistakes. If I make a mistake, I gotta brush it off and keep going, moving forward.
looking at different comments in the chat, there's people saying things that we've heard, Mike and I, going back the last 6 months or so, like Shane for Moscone. People want to see you on that Moscone Cup team. And we talked before about how important that is. Do you see the potential for the United States to really turn this thing around when it comes to the Moscone Cup? Do you see like having a realistic chance of not just winning a year or two here and there like we did a few years ago, but just turning the tide? And what will that take to really gain the momentum back?
It'll take all the players actually playing and putting a lot of time in. Skyler, he talked to me. He said he's playing a lot. He said he's going to start doing a little running and stuff. I think it's just going to take everybody doing their fair share, putting time in, putting a lot of work in, because we're going to have to work hard to beat them. Um, Also, I think it's important to have a team that gels really well together. You don't want to have any, I don't know, oddballs, I guess. You want to, you got to get along. You can't.
chemistry's huge.
Yeah, that's just like any other sport.
Yeah, you want to be able to trust the guy who's right there next to you.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
So you're not far out of the junior scene. It was just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Who do you see in that group of maybe the
Great
folks
question.
we haven't really heard of yet, kind of busting onto the scene and being, kind of following the path that you took in the last couple years?
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of good junior players. My parents run the JIC, so I get to see a lot of them. Of course, Nathan Childress, Landon Hollingsworth, Joey Tate. But probably the one that I'm going to say has the most potential, and I think that he's really going to go somewhere and do something with it, is my buddy Cashton Keaton from Kentucky.
What about his game makes you say that, Shane? Or maybe his work ethic, his character?
Yeah. He's I like him a lot. He's got a good attitude. He works hard. He's got his stake horse Jeremiah, who really helps him out. He's playing a lot of tournaments, and that's what it takes. At the young age, you got to get out there and you got to play against the good players. I think that he's going to do really well. He's going to kind of make a outbreak really soon.
Well, I see you there with the compete shirt on. We know what that means. Joey's over there rocking his Q-Tech badge.
Yep.
What is that meant to be a part of that stable? Because I know it's a very small stable.
Yep.
So what's it meant for you to go and be a part of that team and how they've helped you?
Yeah, it's a big honor, playing right there beside Shane, Fetter, Nick, of course. Just a lot of good players, and it's a smaller group. It's not like some of the other companies where they have a lot of people, so it make you feel special.
That's awesome. Do you want to give a shout out to any of your other sponsors?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Wolf's Den, Premier Billiards, Hustlin', and of course Q-Tech.
Oh, Premier, I seen that one on Justin Martin's page. Y'all just signed with him,
just
huh?
recently.
Yep.
Yeah, what are they all about?
It's one of the biggest online retail stores. They have anything you could want: cues, shafts, cloth, chalk, gloves,
You name it.
hats. Yeah, everything. It's a good company. It's out of Lynchburg, Virginia, and it's about an hour away from where I live.
Nice.
Yep.
That's nothing for you drive-wise. It's right around the corner.
Yep.
Shane, I ask a lot of players this question. It's not really fair to ask you because you're so young, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Okay.
If you could only win one pool tournament the rest of your life, which one would it be?
It's a great question. And I win it every time that I enter?
No, just
Nope.
one more.
One
Just one.
one
You
tournament.
got one
You
bullet.
win it once.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a great question. And it's got to be, I think it has to be the World Nine-Ball.
It's the jewel, man.
It's got to be the World Nine-Ball.
It's the cherry on top.
Yep.
It's got a lot of history. How cool was it for you to be there out in the UK watching Shane win?
Oh, it was awesome. I was so excited for him. He went over after he made the 8-ball, looked at the trophy. He knew he was bringing it home to South Dakota. So really proud of him. That was awesome. I was a little nervous though when he got up on the table. I was like, oh goodness, looked like he was about to trip.
How epic would that have been, huh?
Yeah, breaking news: Shane Van Boning out of the Moscone Cup, tears his ACL.
What's your schedule looking like in the next few months, Shane?
After this, I'm going to UK for the UK Open. Coming back, I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to Buffalo's for their tournament. I'm not going to play. I doubt I'm going to play in the one pocket. I'm pretty sure it's already filled. That's not really my game.
I saw a couple spots. I saw a couple spots in there.
No, I think they only had like one spot left, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Well, there's one guy right there.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to learn it a little bit first.
It's $2,000 entry fee. It's no joke. I was isn't it? No.
Yeah, $2,000 entry and $20,000 added.
Yeah, I saw it.
Calcutta will be like over $100,000 easy.
I know you're going, Melina, so I was like, I'm going to go out there and, maybe I'll just jump in the one pocket thing. It was like $500 entry or something, and I looked and it was $2,000. I'm like, nah, too much for me to donate.
Yeah, you're going to go out there. It's hard enough getting you on the show for 10 minutes, let alone you're going to go out to Louisiana with me, huh? My man.
So anyway, Shane, a couple folks are asking in here, and I want to make sure to ask you this question. Anthony Castaneda wants to know what type of tips. So why don't you just take people through your case and what you're actually using, what equipment?
Yeah, I play with the Q-Tech Avid with the Synergy carbon fiber shaft, 12.5. My tip is a Kamui soft. I break with the breech. Pretty sure it's got the white diamond on it. Whatever comes on the
I think it's
breech
down.
ghost. And then the jump cue, the Propel Ghost Edition.
Nice. So that should answer the question for Anthony there. We wanted to make sure to get that one in. Another
check it
guy,
out.
yeah, another commenter here, John Stager, says that you're a future MVP of the Moscone Cup. Is that just surreal to hear stuff like that?
Yeah, I hope that he is correct. I really appreciate it, John. Thank you.
Well, you got a lot of fans all over the place, and you've earned it from your character, from the way you've been playing. You've been kicking ass, but you got to keep on going because that job
Thanks.
ain't done yet, and you got
Nope.
the rest of the year ahead of you.
Yep.
You know, but the future looks bright for you, man, and we wish you all the best. And more importantly, we appreciate you jumping on because it was a real last minute getting him on here.
Thank you. Yep, I appreciate you guys.
And he's already he's already getting his European on with these shorts over here, so he's already trying to be like Albin as
shorts.
it is. Yeah,
I heard about these shorts. They're real short.
If we were in school, they'd send them home. That's all I'm saying.
And the index card or whatever.
$1 bill's length. No,
Yeah.
we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks a lot for joining us,
Yes,
man.
sir. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Shane. See you, bud.